Welcome everyone to this new interview on sustainability offered by the World Sustainability Organization, WSO, and Friend of the Earth. Today we have with us the director of Cascina Oschiena, an Italian rice producer, a Friend of the Earth certified for its agricultural practices that are sustainable for the environment and for workers. I am pleased to welcome the owner and director of Cascina Oschiena, Alice Ceruti. Good morning, Alice. Welcome.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for the interview and for having invited me.
But before talking about Cascina Oschiena, a brief explanation of who we are and what the WSO does. WSO created and manages Friend of the Sea and Friend of the Earth, two important certifications for sustainable products and services. These also represent a group of conservation initiatives for endangered species and habitats. So when you buy a Friend of the Sea or a Friend of the Earth product, you are sure that it is produced in a sustainable way, and you are also supporting conservation projects. The interviews we offer on this channel help us to get to know the companies that produce more sustainably, and we hope they can motivate everyone to follow their approach and also to live and produce sustainably. Remember to subscribe to our channel to be notified of the new interviews and videos, and also to like if you found this video interesting. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here, Alice. Can you please tell us something more about Cascina Oschiena? When was it founded? What are the main activities? We would also like to know a bit more, maybe perhaps about the rice market.
Definitely, yes, definitely. My story is a family farming story. My grandfather bought the farm in the 50s, but our farm has a very long history. We have documents on Cascina Oschiena that are of the 14th and 15th centuries. So rice has been cultivated on the Cascina Oschiena territory and land since over 500 years.
Wow.
Very long history. I'm the first generation of farmers because my grandfather actually was not a farmer. He rented out the land. So I was born in Turin, a very city girl. I lived in New York for 1 year, and I worked in Ferrero, the chocolate company, in marketing. And then when my family, my mom, my uncle, my aunt started thinking of selling the farm, I felt something weird in my stomach, something that wasn't right. And so in 2008, end of 2008, at first I thought I was Wonder Woman. I thought of doing both jobs and coming on the farm sometimes. And then, without being too romantic, I understood really the potentiality of the farming, the amazing opportunities, and how much there was to do and to really to live, because it's a life-changing decision and experience. And I was saying at end of 2008, beginning 2009, I quit my job. And from the office, from a very office computer job, I started farming. And at that point, actually, I remember with the great support, I always have to say, I always had and have a great support from my mom, my husband. He does another job, but he always helps me, supports me. We started thinking, how do we want to approach, which is our approach to this new world, to farming? And from the beginning, I knew that maximizing production was not our option. And so we started farming in synergy with nature and with the environment. First thing we did, remember, with this important project, Eco-Rice, in the Natura 2000 framework, we started planting trees, planting bushes, shrubs on the boundaries, bushes and trees. We converted 6 hectares of our farmland from rice to woods, and it is actually the only wood of in the rice field area. And then, it's a step by step. You see that if you give back to nature, nature responds right back. Not in 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, no, right back. When we started planting shrubs on the boundaries, the increase in biodiversity, in butterflies, in dragonflies, in insects grew right away. And so we knew that it was the right way to go. And so then we started also farming in adopting integrated production techniques. So we cover crops to increase natural fertility of the soil. We sow historical varieties of rice. You were asking me about the rice market. You know, the rice market is a very complicated market because on one hand, the milling industry, of course, requires production. So you see how many, so many new varieties that have, of course, the aim of maximizing production. On the other hand, I think it is important to keep alive the historical varieties of rice because there's also an important market, an important target, consumers that are very interested in the history, in historical varieties, in being sure that what they are buying is the historical variety and how it is cultivated and where it is cultivated. For example, Canaroli rice, it can be sold in a pack of rice with the name, with the label Canaroli on the pack. You can find similar varieties of rice that can be sold, as I was saying, with the name Canaroli, but are modern varieties born for industrial agriculture. This, of course, for us is not an option. This is why we grow historical varieties. Luckily, there is this definition, this certification that is classic, that is given by Ente Risi, that is an institution controlled by the ministry and guaranteed by the Italian Ministry of Agriculture, that only farmers that grow the historical, authentic variety can be certified classic. So also for the consumer, they know that if they buy, for example, Canaroli Classic or Arborio Classic, they're sure that there is the authentic variety. Imagine that to grow Arborio Classic, the authentic historical variety, certified classic, we are 5 farmers. So you can imagine how important it is to keep alive these historical varieties.
So it's the real risotto.
The real risotto. All the Arborio you find all over the world, there are new varieties that can be sold with the name Arborio, but are not the historical variety that is taller than I am. I'm not very tall, it's true, but there are varieties that are really, really tall, that don't produce a lot, but have this amazing also biodiversity index, you know, because of their history, of the genetic of the plant. They are tall, they do a lot of sun, so they grow a lot. Yeah. They don't need a lot of fertilizer. They just, with the cover crops, it is enough to grow because of its potential that is of the historical variety. And so we saw that, you know, you can grow in synergy with an eye to history and an eye to biodiversity, to nature, and they really grow in synergy. And the philosophy can be a win-win choice.
That's great. And Italy is one of the major producers, if not the major one in Europe, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Luckily, the historical Canaroli Classic is still, we are still, I think, around 150 farmers that still grow the historical Canaroli in Italy. And I think that now also the market asks for more Canaroli. So I think that if we do also network and also with the consumers, more transparency, more traceability, it can be a great success also to keep alive this historical variety that really risk to just disappear without that nobody actually knew it.
So what does sustainability mean in your sector? Is it requested by your customers? Does it help you to enhance your products?
It's a very good question. What does sustainability mean? I think that, you know, sustainability means bringing results, real, tangible results to quality of life. I think that, you know, today, a lot of brands, a lot of media talk about preserving, you know, we are preserving the environment, we are preserving the nature, I think that it's too late to preserve. So what I think that sustainability really means to give back to nature. This is the key element that really brought us to, you know, to enhance and to reach our maximum dream of the conversion of 25 hectares. We just converted in two years ago, 25 hectares. That's 1/4 of our farmland, from rice production to nature reserve to natural wetlands, totally giving it back, because this is what we think. We think that only giving back to nature can really bring a quality of life. Then nobody ever gives a value to quality of life. People, you know, of course I live of farming, and I could not, we say in Italian, hide behind a finger. There has to be a plus at the end of the year. So I need to produce, and sustainability, therefore, for me also means economic sustainability. But I think that it has to be linked with environmental sustainability and with quality of life. Because first of all, we live on the farm. My kid, I have a son, and he can play in all over farmland. He can go in summer, he jumps in the little lakes of the nature reserve. And this has to be given a value to this. And then I feel like, as you were saying, consumers require sustainability. I think that is not more than a demand and offer. I think, again, it's a cooperation with consumers. I think, to see on the bright side, COVID is terrible. We have no doubt of this. But I think that I think that there has been a stronger link with consumers, with people that come on the farm. We are didactics. We have people coming on the farm that really, I think that there's a stronger link. So when you tell me that, do they ask for it? Yes, but we love sharing it with them. So again, I think it's a network of saying, if you buy Cascina Oschiena, if you like eating Cascina Oschiena, if you come and visit Cascina Oschiena, is not only the quality in the plate. I think that today, the quality of rice, like as of any other product, 20% of the quality is actually what you find in the plate. The other 80%, it is how it is grown, where it comes from, all the journey that food did to reach that plate. And so I really think that is fundamental. So I think, yes, that our vision, we really believe that this is the win-win situation, because I feel when we share what we do, I feel how it strengthens the network with consumers and with anybody who is interested in sharing with us. Also like botanists and bird watchers that come to do other monitoring of the nature reserve. I feel like we try to build a family.
So Alice, yes, this is great. And I've actually, as you remember, been at your site. I've seen the fields, and I'm really impressed by what I saw. I saw you're growing and planting and growing new rows of trees all around the sites, and also you have brought back to life, let's say, underwater springs, and that was really beautiful to see, and also all the birds that nest in the area. I know that you have a lot of bird watchers which visit your site, so that's really great. And going back to the specifics of certifications, your products are Friend of the Earth certified since several years. I know that you also have obtained other certifications. Are these important for you, for the final customer, or are these mainly relevant to you because they provide you with some guidelines to follow in terms of the agricultural practices?
Well, I would say both. I remember when you sent me the guidelines, I was very impressed because compared to other certifications, they are very broad, and especially I like them because they enhance different aspects, not only production, but as we were talking before, the importance of what surrounds the production. So again, I remember sending you all the monitoring of the increase in birds, in the nesting of the birds, increase in butterflies, in dragonflies, and it is rare to find a certification that really is keen to see the numbers, you know, not only the words, but the numbers. And I think that it is so I would say that this is the first thing that comes into my mind, that it was, that for me, it's really challenging.
Benefits.
And I really love your guidelines, our guidelines actually. And of course, since it is so serious, I really like to promote the certification everywhere, to anyone, to everyone, and when I can, during fairs, when people come on the farm, and also especially when I go to fairs, because, you know, when people come to the farm, it is easier because you can just see what we do, and walking in the natural wetlands, or not in the natural wetlands, or walking on our boundaries and seeing how many weeds are in the field, or seeing the trees, it's easier to explain. But it's often, you know, when you're at fairs, maybe you have 5 minutes, because the buyers or also consumers that go to these fairs are interested and maybe want to discover hundreds of products. And so maybe you have 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And often I actually talk about Friend of the Earth, because being so broad and so serious, it is a certification that really explains well our philosophy.
Well, I think also that all our listeners today can really perceive that you are really, independently of the certification, a friend of the earth, because you are so dedicated and you are aware of the importance of all this. But just a last question, you know, looking at the future, hopefully we are somehow will sooner or later get out of this COVID situation. Do you believe that consumers' attitude towards environmental issues will change? And what are your engagements for the future? Are you going to do even more than what you've done now?
Well, I would definitely say yes, because I mean, it is obviously, you know, how people were forced to stay in their houses in cement, in square meters, surrounded by walls. So I guess that everyone appreciates even more nature and air and clean air and animals and biodiversity. Being forced of not seeing anything of this, especially people that live in the city. And then I again think that I hope that during this terrible experience, people also have different priorities in life, you know, and I hope that priorities like biodiversity, priorities like biodiversity, like nature, like butterflies and bees and birds and animal welfare and everything, I think will be even stronger. So yes, I think that the right way to go is to give back to nature, and the right way to go is farm in synergy with nature, reducing production but increasing all of other aspects that are absolutely crucial.
And what is your plan?
Oh, well, continue planting trees. Next week we are planting 580 new trees and bushes around the nature wetlands. So yes, every year we go on planting, and increase cover crops, increase rotation. And now this year we increase also the sowing of emmer. Emmer is an ancient spelt, is a farro di cocco, il triticum di coccum. So also to give rotation and to also really increase always our new approaches to always more sustainable, diversified, and environmentally friendly farming.
Wonderful, Alice. Thank you very much for participating and providing us with a lot of interesting information. I'm sure that our listeners too have been able to receive many useful food for thought. I always remember to like and subscribe to always be updated on new videos. And I thank Cascina Oschiena for the excellent work and for its commitment to sustainability. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thanks to everyone.
And come and visit us whenever you want.
Sure, we will put the address and the contact on this video. And thanks to everyone. And till the next video then. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.